What if you loved your kids more than your favorite game, your birthday cake, and your coziest blanket all put together? You read them stories at night. You held their hands when they were scared. You cheered when they scored a goal or drew a cool picture. You thought they were yours, heart, blood, and soul. Then one day, you found out they weren't, and the man who made them, your own brother. The woman who lied for years, your wife. This is the story of Sheriff Andre Harris. He was a good man, a strong man, a family man, until the truth blew up his whole life. And what he did next? It ended in gunshots, in screams, in silence. This story is not for little kids. It's sad, it's scary, it's real feeling. Let's begin. Andre Harris was a sheriff. That means he was like the head police officer in his town. People looked up to him. Kids waved when he drove by. Grown-ups asked him for help when they were scared. He wore his badge like it was part of his heart. At home, he was even better. He had a wife named Jasmine. She had a warm smile. She made the best pancakes. She always kissed him goodbye in the morning. They had 4 kids. Malik was 14. He was smart and calm. He helped his little brothers with homework. Jaden was 11. He was wild and funny, always running, always laughing. Cameron was 9. He was quiet. He loved books and drawing dragons. Alia was just 5. She was tiny and sweet. Her laugh sounded like wind chimes. Andre loved them all. He worked long hours. Sometimes he missed dinner. Sometimes he missed school plays. But he always made it up. He brought home ice cream. He played catch in the yard. He tucked them in at night. He thought his family was perfect. He had no idea. It was all a lie. Jasmine and Andre met when they were young. He was a new cop, serious, trying to do the right thing. She was helping at a town picnic. Pretty, friendly, made him blush when she smiled. They fell in love, got married, had babies, bought a house with a porch and a swing. Everything looked happy, but Jasmine had a secret. She knew Andre's brother before she ever met Andre. His name was Tyrone. Tyrone was different. Where Andre was calm, Tyrone was loud. Where Andre planned, Tyrone just did whatever he felt like. Girls loved Tyrone. He danced, he joked, he never seemed to care about rules. But inside, Tyrone was jealous. He watched Andre get everything: the good job, the pretty wife, the cute kids, the respect. Tyrone had none of that. No steady job, no one waiting for him at home, no one calling him hero. So when Jasmine walked back into his life as his brother's wife, something inside him woke up, and it wasn't good. At first, it was small things. Tyrone would come over for dinner. He'd sit too close to Jasmine. He'd accidentally brush her hand. He'd wink when Andre wasn't looking. Jasmine didn't stop him. Why? Because Andre was always working. He missed anniversaries. He forgot to ask how her day was. He fell asleep on the couch after dinner. Jasmine felt invisible. Tyrone? He noticed everything. He told her she looked pretty. He listened when she talked. He made her laugh. One night, Andre was working late. Tyrone came over to fix a leaky sink. They talked. They laughed. They remembered high school. Then Tyrone kissed her, and Jasmine didn't push him away. That was the first step. And after that, there was no going back. The secret grew. Tyrone started coming over more. He offered to babysit so Jasmine could run errands. But they weren't running errands. They were meeting in his car, in hotel rooms, even in their own house when Andre was at work. They got good at hiding it. They used code words in texts. Need help with the groceries really meant meet me at the park. Family dinner Sunday really meant I miss you. Andre never suspected a thing. He trusted his wife. He trusted his brother. He was too busy protecting the town to see the danger in his own home. And while he worked late, Tyrone was touching his wife, laughing with her, making babies with her. 3 of Andre's 4 kids, they weren't his. They were Tyrone's. Malik, Jaden, Cameron. Only little Alia was really his. And he had no clue. Then, one day, Jasmine made a mistake. She was watching Jaden play soccer. He scored a goal and grinned big. Jasmine smiled and said, "He's got Tyrone's smile." Andre froze. He didn't say anything, but inside, something cracked. Tyrone's smile? What did that mean? He tried to forget it, but the thought stuck like gum on a shoe. That night, he stared at his kids' faces, really stared. Malik's eyes looked like Tyrone's. Jaden's laugh sounded like Tyrone's. Cameron's walk was just like Tyrone's. His stomach felt sick. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He had to know the truth. So he did something crazy. He ordered a secret DNA test online. He had it sent to his work. He waited until everyone was asleep. Then he crept into his kids' rooms. He took a chewed pencil from Malik's desk, a straw from Jaden's juice box, a sock from Cameron's laundry, a hairbrush with Alia's hair. He even took a swab from his own cheek. He packed it all up. His hands were shaking. He felt like he was betraying his family, but he had to know. He mailed the kit. Then he waited and waited. Every day felt like a year. When the envelope came, his heart pounded like a drum. He locked himself in his office. He opened it slowly. He read the words, and his whole world exploded. Malik, not his son. Jaden, not his son. Cameron, not his son. Only Alia was his. 3 kids, raised with love, kissed goodnight, taught to ride bikes, taken to the doctor. All Tyrone's. All a lie. Andre dropped the paper. He couldn't breathe. He felt like someone punched him in the chest. All those years, all that love, all that trust, all fake. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just got quiet. And that quiet was more dangerous than any scream. He got in his car. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He just drove. Fast. His hands gripped the wheel. His jaw was clenched. The DNA results sat on the passenger seat like a bomb. He pulled into his driveway. The house looked normal. The swing was swaying. A bike was on the lawn. Kids' shoes by the door. He walked in. "Jasmine?" he called. No answer. He walked upstairs. His heart beat louder with every step. He pushed open the bedroom door, and there they were. Jasmine and Tyrone, on his bed, doing what they shouldn't be doing. The thing that made his kids, the thing that broke his life. Jasmine saw him. Her face turned white. Tyrone tried to say something, but Andre didn't let him. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just reached for his gun. The one he carried as sheriff. The one he swore to use only to protect. He raised it and fired. One shot, right into Tyrone's chest. Tyrone fell. Jasmine screamed. Andre turned, fired again. Jasmine fell too. Silence, heavy, thick, like a blanket. The smell of smoke filled the room. Andre dropped the gun. He stared at what he'd done. His brother, his wife, dead, on his bed, because of lies. Down the hall, the kids heard everything. Malik ran out first. "Dad?" he yelled. Jaden and Cameron followed. Alia stayed in her room, crying. Malik reached the bedroom door. Andre stepped out fast. He shut the door behind him. "Go to your room," he said. His voice was cold. "Take your brothers, and Alia, now." Malik didn't move. He was shaking. "Dad, what happened?" Andre looked at his son, the boy who wasn't his, and for a second, his heart broke. Then he yelled, "Go!" The boys ran. They huddled in Malik's room. They cried. They held each other. They didn't understand. Downstairs, Andre sat on the couch. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. He pulled out his phone, dialed 911. "It's me, Andre," he said. "I just killed my wife and my brother. I'm sorry. Send the police." He hung up. He didn't run. He didn't hide. He just sat, waiting. Down the hall, the kids heard everything. It wasn't just the gunshots. It was the silence after. That's what haunts Malik to this day. It wasn't loud like in the movies, he told a therapist years later. It was final, like someone turned off the world. Malik, 14 at the time, ran out first, barefoot, still in his soccer jersey. "Dad?" he yelled, voice cracking with fear, not anger. Behind him, Jaden, 11, stumbled out, rubbing his eyes. He'd been napping. Cameron, 9, froze in the hallway, clutching his dragon sketchbook like a shield. Little Alia, only 5, didn't come out. She curled under her frozen comforter, humming "Let It Go" to drown out the screams, a coping mechanism child psychologists later called trauma dissociation. Malik reached the master bedroom door. Andre stepped out fast, eyes red, jaw clenched, shirt splattered. He shut the door behind him with a thud that echoed through the house. "Go to your room," he said. His voice was colder than winter pavement. "Take your brothers and Alia. Now." Malik didn't move. He was shaking, not from fear of his dad, but from confusion. "Dad, what happened?" he whispered. Andre looked at him, really looked at him. Malik had Tyrone's nose, Tyrone's smirk, Tyrone's way of tilting his head when he was nervous. For a split second, Andre's heart shattered. This boy he'd coached in Little League, who he'd stayed up with during chickenpox, who called him Pops, wasn't his. Biologically, emotionally, spiritually, the betrayal cut deeper than any bullet. Then he yelled, "Go!" The boys ran. They huddled in Malik's room, locking the door, a habit Andre himself had taught them during stranger danger drills. They cried silently, holding each other. Jaden rocked back and forth. Cameron drew frantic dragons with blood-red eyes. No one understood. Not yet. Downstairs, Andre sat on the couch, the same one where he'd fallen asleep watching cartoons with Alia just 2 nights before. His hands wouldn't stop shaking, not from adrenaline, but from grief, from the collapse of everything he thought he was. He pulled out his phone, an old iPhone 8, cracked screen, family photo still as wallpaper. Him, Jasmine, the 4 kids at the beach, smiling like nothing was wrong. He dialed 911. "It's me, Andre Harris, badge number 2874. I just killed my wife and my brother. I'm sorry. Send the police." He hung up. Didn't run, didn't hide, didn't drink, didn't write a note. He just sat, waiting, staring at the family portrait on the wall, the one where Jasmine's hand rested on Tyrone's shoulder during the Christmas party. He hadn't noticed it then. Now it screamed. The police arrive. Chaos meets calm. Sirens screamed. Red and blue lights flashed through the blinds, painting the walls like a horror movie. Officers from the Cedar Ridge PD, Andre's own department, stormed in with rifles drawn. "Hands up!" they yelled. Some had worked under him for 12 years. Andre raised his hand slowly. "I'm unarmed," he said. "Guns on the bed, next to them." They cuffed him. Standard flex cuffs, not the reinforced ones. Even in shock, they treated him with a strange respect. One officer, Sergeant Ramirez, later testified, he looked hollow, like someone had scooped out his soul. As they walked him out, Andre passed the living room window. There was Malik, face pressed to the glass, tears streaking down his cheeks, silently mouthing,
"Why, Dad, why?" Andre looked away. Couldn't bear it. That look, the betrayal in his son's eyes, would haunt him more than prison bars ever could. The evidence, cold, hard, and scientific. At the station, detectives found everything. The DNA test results from Gene True Labs, a real company that offers discreet paternity testing for $149, ordered under a fake name, shipped to the sheriff's office. Swabs from all 4 kids plus Andre. Results: 99.99% exclusion for Malik, Jaden, Cameron. 99.98% match for Alia. The gun, his service Glock 17, serial number logged, wiped clean, except for his prints. Text logs, recovered from Jasmine's iCloud backup. Code phrases like grocery run equals motel rendezvous, family dinner equals I miss your touch. Over 300 secret messages in 18 months. Hotel receipts, under fake names, paid in cash, time during Andre's night shifts or court appearances. Security footage, from a gas station near the Days Inn, Tyrone and Jasmine holding hands, laughing, walking into room 214, the night Andre was working the county fair. The trial, America watches. The trial, State v. Harris, became a national spectacle. Court TV aired it live. Hashtag Sheriff Snap trended for 11 days. Memes flooded TikTok, some mocking, some mourning. Prosecutors painted Andre as a cold-blooded killer who used his badge as a license to murder. They emphasized his training. This wasn't a crime of passion, it was execution. The defense? Temporary insanity due to extreme emotional distress. They brought in Dr. Lena Cho, a forensic psychologist who testified, Mr. Harris experienced what we call identity annihilation, the destruction of his self-concept as husband, father, and protector. The human brain isn't wired to process that level of betrayal without catastrophic psychological rupture. But the jury didn't buy it. They found him guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, premeditation argued via the DNA test, and driving home with intent. 4 counts of felony child endangerment, because the children heard gunshots, witnessed their father in a violent rage, and were psychologically scarred by the scene. The judge, hardened by 30 years on the bench, delivered the sentence with icy precision. Life without parole. You were sworn to uphold the law, Sheriff. Instead, you became its most tragic violator. Andre didn't flinch, just nodded. I know. The aftermath. Where are they now? The kids, placed in foster care, then eventually with Jasmine's sister in Oregon. Therapy bills exceeded $80,000 in the first year. Malik, now 22, is studying criminal justice to fix what my dad couldn't. Jaden dropped out of high school, but found peace working with horses. Cameron publishes fantasy novels under a pen name. All his villains have smiles that don't reach their eyes. Alia, now 16, refuses to speak about that night. She changes schools every year. Tyrone's side. Turns out Tyrone wasn't just a player, he had a pattern. Police uncovered 2 other paternity fraud cases in neighboring counties. One woman said, he told me he liked to borrow what his brother earned. He was a serial emotional saboteur. Jasmine's secret. Her diary, found under the mattress, revealed she knew Malik wasn't Andre's from the start. She wrote, I thought love would be enough, but Tyrone made me feel alive. Andre made me feel safe. I wanted both. I destroyed everything. Andre in prison. He's inmate number AZ7742 at Blackthorn Penitentiary. Solitary most days by choice. Reads parenting books. Writes letters to his kids every Sunday. None have been opened. In a rare 2023 interview with the Marshall Project, he said, I don't want forgiveness. I want them to know I loved them. even when I found out the truth. Especially then. That's what broke me. Not the lies. The love. The bigger picture. Paternity fraud is more common than you think. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, up to 30% of paternity tests in disputed cases come back negative. That's nearly 1 in 3 men raising children that aren't biologically theirs, often for years, even decades. Psychologists call it misattributed paternity trauma, a form of complex PTSD. Symptoms include rage, depression, identity collapse, and, in rare cases, violence. Andre's case is now taught in criminal psychology courses as the Andre threshold, the point where perceived moral injury overrides legal consequence. Could it have been avoided? Experts say yes, with 3 interventions. Couples therapy. Jasmine felt neglected. Andre was emotionally unavailable. A counselor could have bridged that gap. Transparent communication. Had Jasmine confessed early, even painfully, Andre might have stayed. Studies show 40% of men stay with partners after paternity fraud if there's honesty and remorse. Anger management and crisis.
Now, he sits in a cell, alone. He thinks about his kids, the ones who weren't his and the one who was. He wonders if they hate him, if they miss him, if they'll ever forgive him. He knows he can't undo what he did. He knows he threw his whole life away in 2 seconds. But he also knows this: he was broken first, by lies, by betrayal, by the 2 people he trusted most. This story doesn't have a happy ending. No one wins. The wife is dead. The brother is dead. The sheriff is in jail. The kids? They're left with questions no child should have to ask. Was Daddy right? Was he wrong? Why did Mom lie? Why did Uncle Tyrone do that? And the biggest question of all, could this have been avoided? What if Jasmine had told the truth? What if Tyrone had stayed away? What if Andre had talked instead of shooting? We'll never know. All we know is, love can turn to rage, trust can turn to dust, and when a good man breaks, the fallout is deadly.